Hey, Cleaning Nation. This episode is a replay of one of our best podcasts. Everyone loves listening to this, so we thought we'd share it again in case some of you out there have not heard it. Hope you enjoy, and on to the show.
Hey, Cleaning Nation. So excited to be back with you today. We have the lovely, the amazing Tracy Thompson, one of our coaches. Tracy, today we are talking, so I do most of the tactical stuff for our clients, and Tracy does a lot of the helping people actually do it, right? There's a difference between me saying, hey, do A, B, and C. And if you just do this, you'll have magical work. But that's like, just eat less and work out more. That's the easy part, right? Like, everyone's like got their special diet. I'll give you a hint. All the diets are the same. Eat less, eat better, healthy foods, eat less garbage, and move your body more. There's my contribution. Now you need someone smart like Tracy to be like, okay, but I've known to eat less and work more for a long time, but I still eat garbage and sit on my butt. So what does that look like, translate to sound like from our clients, Tracy, and how can we use your experience with that to give value to listeners today?
Yes. Well, Cleaning Nation, here's how it usually shows up. This is what we hear a lot, as something that sounds a little bit like, you know what, I know I should be, and then you fill in the blank with whatever it is in your business that you know you should be doing, or at least you have a pretty good idea of what's missing, what you're not doing. And then the next part is, but...
The butt will kill you.
The big old butt. But I don't have the skills. I don't know how to do it. I tried that once. It never worked. I've tried everything. Oh, that's a winner. And so therefore, I'm going to make another set of 50 million excuses as to why I shouldn't do it now. And so what that boils down to is, ultimately, that's you being the old you, the you that was thinking and feeling and being who you've been up to this point, restricting and limiting your future. Your actions that can affect a positive future is going to keep you from doing it. Is going to keep you limited. Is going to keep you getting the same results you've always gotten because you're still being the same person with the same thinking, the same limitations as you've always been.
So let me kind of, I love doing this because Tracy hears it from her end and I hear it from my end. And between the two of us, we'll probably get most of you out listening going, that's kind of me. That's kind of me. And it's nice because in this one-to-many, you can hide and it's okay. Right? Like when we do this on coaching calls, it's easy to get defensive, like, there's other people listening, but it's just you. So we can be honest with ourselves here in the quiet of our own minds. So I hear that a lot of, but you don't understand, my situation's different, right? That's a big one. Mm-hmm. And we externalize things that are really internalized. So we'll go, and again, my situation is different, like where I live, the people around me, these are all external things that aren't it. And it's really a version of, I would like to get different results than I've been getting, but I would not like to do any different actions than I've been doing. So how do we move from that? And that's a big step, right? So even that motion from externalizing of, it's Tracy's fault, she was just a better coach, it's Facebook's fault if they would just not try and screw me, it's fill in the blanks fault, the world. So going step one, externalize to internalize, right? Like from it's the world's fault to it's my fault, or responsibility at least. And then how do we move from that? Okay, if it is my fault, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I can't seem to get myself to do it. I guess that's the magic, the $1 million question.
Yes. That is the magic. That's exactly it. It's the millionaire mindset shift that needs to happen. We have a little phrase around here that we like to call the monkey mind. The monkey mind is the old self, all the old stories, all the old limitations that I know better, but I'm not doing better. Yeah, that's the monkey mind. So the millionaire mind, the money mindset is, I realize now, okay, I'm the one who can change this. I'm the only one who can change this. So that's the first shift that you were just talking about, from externalizing to internalizing. Then you say, all right, so if I'm the one, then I guess I can't really be my old self with all my old stories and my own limits and beliefs that keep me from moving forward. So All right. Who do I need to be? That's the first question. Ask yourself, if I know in the past I haven't been able to do this, and you understand all these things are going on, and that's past. But if you weren't you right now, if you were a future version of yourself, a successful version of yourself that's already done it, that's already been through it, that's already got the solution and done the work, who would that be? What kind of characteristics would you have? For instance, would I be thinking differently about this? I don't know, probably, right? So maybe we can get, let's take an example, Mike. Let's use a real world example in the cleaning world that they might be running into for themselves.
Yeah, so let's role play that. And first I want to show you what Tracy did that's magic. I don't want you to miss it. The first thing she did is, she didn't say this, but I heard it and I want you to hear it. Stop asking disempowering questions. Why am I so stupid? Why do I keep saying I'm going to do this and failing? Is it possible my mother-in-law is right? Like all of these questions that can have no answer other than, yes, you suck and you'll never change. And start asking powerful questions, which are, if I were going to be successful, who would I have to be to get there? Like that's a big, fat, powerful question. So we'll role play some of this, but here I can't role play this without asking in disempowering questions, and hear how Tracy helps me move towards powerful questions. And most importantly, if you have a Tracy in your life that can ask these questions, you're golden. If you don't, you either got to find someone in your life that's willing and able to ask you these questions in love, or you got to start asking them yourself. But it is really important that you start asking different questions. So
I would prefer if we do something that sounds like either I don't have the money, I don't have the time, or I don't have the skill.
All right,
those are the big ones.
Let's not have money, because I think I'm just starting. I got a job. So, okay. So Tracy, and here's the frustrating part as a coach. Tracy's going to role play a coach trying to help Mike. And you would think Mike would role play back trying to be helped. But Mike's a little child and he's going to fight and argue for all of his limitations and all the reasons it won't work. And poor Tracy's there going, okay, I guess I gotta be powerful enough for the two of us, which if you've got a Tracy in your life, God bless you. But if you don't, you're going to have to, again, go through this process on your own. So this process that you're going to hear some version of it. So we'll role play. I don't have any money, right? You might be, I don't have any time. I don't have the support of my wife. I'm in a buy, whatever the thing may be. Don't get hung up on Mike's role playing money. That's not my issue. Get hung up on, how is Mike showing up and how's that serving him? And how's Tracy trying to get him to show up and how is that serving him? All right. So let's say I need to invest. What we'll do with what we do all the time. You know, lots of times people want to come into our program, which is thousands of dollars, and they feel like they don't have the money. Right. So let's just role play that. And I'm always the one trying to help people through that. So it'll be fun for me to get to be the pain in the ass, just like fighting for my own limitations. So typically what will happen is Tracy and I'll have a conversation if I'm the owner and Tracy's the coach, and we'll spend time with her getting clear on why it's important for me to change, what exactly I want, why I'm stuck. So it's not like we just start here, right? We start with me spending 20 or 30 or 40 minutes, depending on how patient Tracy is, with me explaining how committed I am and how I want something different. So you guys and gals, when you're listening, as we go through this, I don't want you to start going, oh, but you don't understand, right? But you've got to really, well, we'll go into it. So we've just spent 30 minutes of me explaining my wife's not going to tolerate this. I can't live like this anymore. I've been cleaning for 10 years. My back's not going to do it. I'm 46 years old. I got to get out of the field. And Tracy said, great, I've got a plan, a program, whatever that might be for you. It's just going to cost thousands of dollars. And my response is, oh, Tracy, I'm in. I'm completely in. I'll do anything. Unfortunately, I just don't have thousands of dollars. So I guess at this point, I'm just going to have to figure something out. And I'm doing huge air quotes for you podcast folks, because that means I'm not willing. Here's the truth, Tracy, I'm afraid to go do anything. So I'm going to go back to my old life, but I can't say that because I just spent 20 minutes telling Tracy I'm committed to never have that old life. So what I'm going to say is, I've got to figure something else out, which means not do a damn thing. Sorry. Go ahead, Tracy. So what do? I wish I could go, but I just don't have any money. So I'm going to have to figure out something else.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand. And you know what? It makes sense. It makes sense what you just said. And I'm going to tell you why it makes sense. Okay, I'm going to share with you why what you said makes so much sense. Of course you don't have the money, okay? Because up to this point, and this is why you're in this place where you're so committed and you're passionate and you're like, it just has to work, because you're feeling the whole momentum of all of those limitations in the past that have gotten you here to this kind of crisis point, right? And so everything that you've in your life, who you've been, all the decisions you've made have brought you to this point where you can't take it anymore. But now you're at a point where you have to become someone different in order to change it. So the old you, Mike, doesn't have money because of the culmination of all the things, all the choices you've made and who you've been up to this point. Is that fair? Fair enough?
Well, first of all, it's eminently fair. How could a non-psychopath person say that's not fair? Second, I want you to hear what she's doing. I came with a story of, I don't have any money, therefore my life has to stay the same. That story is going to get me get what it's going to get me. My life staying exactly the same, because that's what I'm committed to. Tracy, thank God, is not going to accept that story and leave me in my, bleeding on the street. She's got a different story. Her story that she's trying to implant, which is helpful, right? Or could be helpful if I would accept it. And we'll see, Tracy, is, all the knucklehead stuff that you did has got you here. And if that knucklehead stuff said, I'm going to figure it out and I'm not going to invest in myself. But again, this can be money. It can be time. It can be stepping out of your comfort zone. Everyone's investment looks different. So we're using money because everyone kind of gets it. But again, it's almost, believe it or not, it's almost never money. It's really going, I'm afraid I'm going to fail again. And if I could get the money, but it'd be hard or scary and I have to borrow it or whatever, I'd have to step out of my comfort zone. And then I'd have to really do the work or it wouldn't work. And so see how there's a story I'm telling myself, which is super superficial and easy, because I don't want to get into this with Tracy. I just wanted her to give me a magic pill. Once I've realized she doesn't give me a magic pill, it's going to cost me something, right? In time or transformation or whatever, as opposed to going, okay, I'll pay that price. I go, oh, thank God. I don't say thank God. I think thank God, but I say, thank God I don't have whatever the price is she's asking. Therefore, I can let myself off again, which is fine if I want to go keep getting the same stupid results I've been getting. So I'm telling you, these are the ugly, nasty stories that we tell ourselves. Tracy's trying to help me with a new story of, that's what you did. And that's why you're here. And if you want to be something different, you got to do something different. So because I'm a bad human being, I'm not going to make it easy on Tracy. I'm not buying her garbage story. I get it, Tracy. It makes perfect sense. Everything you're saying makes sense. The problem is I just don't have the money. If I had it, I would invest in myself. So it's not a matter of my commitment, Tracy. It's not a matter of any of that stuff. You're right. All the bad decisions I've got have brought me here, but here is broke. And if not broke is what it needs, then I guess I'm stuck.
Mike Campion here. Do you ever listen to the podcast and go, this is great information, I just wish I could actually get it implemented and I wish I could get some help? Well, we do that. If you would like either myself or my team's help actually coming up with a plan that's specialized to you and your business, because with these podcasts, obviously we have to be very general and we can only go 20 minutes at a time. If you'd like to jump on a call with myself or my team, go to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk. We'll jump on a call. There's no charge. And we'll help you get some absolute clarity around exactly what to do next and how to do it. The reason we don't charge for these calls is the plan that we come up with, people want help implementing that. If that's the case, we're happy to talk about it. And if it's not, that's okay too. We're happy to just help you come up with a plan. So if you want to translate the information you're learning here into an actual plan that can change your life, give us a ring, growmycleaningcompany.com/talk. Love to either myself or have one of our coaches walk you through and actually personalize the content you get here to where you're at with your business. Talk soon.
So I'm going to ask you a really straightforward question. Okay, Mike, is that all right?
Oh, what a good coach you are. How can I say no to that? Yeah. Whatever, Tracy, I'm in. Let's do it.
Is not having the money something you would like to change or committed to changing right now?
That's why I'm on the phone. I gotta make this work.
Okay. So you're saying that the current state of being right now is that you don't have money. That's past. That's all the culmination of the past. And what I just heard you say is, but today you want that state to change. You want to be different enough to change that you don't have money.
Okay, you keep doing such smart stuff. I can't not point it out. So I took on the identity of a broke person.
Right.
It was a permanent state. Without getting into, like in Spanish, there's two I ams. There's I am male, which despite some different opinions is just going to be the case till I die. And I'm 46 years old, which is a state that's current. It wasn't that me being male was true 20 years ago. It'll be true 20 years from now. Me being 46 years old wasn't true a year ago, and it won't be true in a year. So Tracy's doing a great job of changing my story of I am poor. That's who I am before till the end, all of time, to know you're in a poor state right now. That's a massive state change. So you see how all she's doing is just, I'm coming up with caustic, disgusting, gross beliefs that are not serving me, that have got me where I'm at. And as opposed to Tracy trying to tell me I'm wrong or fight. And by the way, do you hear her tone and the loving and the caring and the like, okay, I'm not going to fight with you. That's fine. So right off the bat, she's helping me understand my beliefs are not the truth. I'm not poor. Like I was just born poor, like I was born male. I was born poor, but then based on my actions, I've either not been poor anymore, or I've continued to be poor. So I just want you guys to get the difference between me making a temporary truth. Right now, I have X amount of money, which isn't even poor, by the way. If you look globally, half the globe is living on like less than, $100 a month. So when I say I'm poor, even that right now, I'm not going to go, that's a truth. That's my belief. But I try to make it like I'm born poor. I'll always be poor. There's nothing I can do about this state. And Tracy's going, that's not the truth. You've made decisions that have made you to this state today. And depending on the decision you make today, your state will be different tomorrow. So just want you guys to see so genius what she's doing here. So, and again, some of you might be like, oh, this is manipulative. Tracy's trying to manipulate Mike. Well, yeah, she's a coach. That's what the job, right? If I paid her to manipulate to get my golf swing better, until she manipulates me, my golf swing shall remain the same. So it's really important that the whole goal of coaching is to manipulate me from going, I need to eat Cheetos in large quantities on my ass to I need to eat apples and move and help my body. So all right. I get what you're saying, Tracy, and I love that. And I love the hope that you're giving me. And I want to be rich, and I know I can be rich. I have to be rich. I hate that, by the way. I have to be rich. Like that's some sort of strategy. But today I'm poor, so I don't have the money. So if me being rich tomorrow means I have to put in money today, I'm out. I don't have any money.
Right. So what you're saying is the state of your bank account is at this moment, doesn't have money. That is not who you are. Is that fair enough to say?
Very fair. And I'm starting to feel hope, guys. Oh, my bank account isn't me. They're separate. Yeah, that's super fair, Tracy.
Right. Okay. And if what I heard you say is that you're committed to being who you need to be today to change that. Is that right?
Yeah. If that's all it takes is to change me, I'm committed.
Okay. So let's focus on that. So money comes and goes, but who you're being, that's in your control always. So let's talk about who Mike needs to be right now to have that I don't have money state of being in your bank account not happen again. Have that not be a thing. If you change, the bank account changes.
Yeah. And that's such a perfect role play of me coming to this problem or this issue or this set of circumstances I've created for myself, externalizing, not my fault, I'm poor. Tracy helping me internalize in a loving way. The decisions you've made have created the financial situation you're in. Like not even poor, just whatever that is. And that the good news is if it was somebody else's fault, then, there are people, sadly, so many people, millions, probably billions of people that based on the country that they're in, they really don't have the opportunity, right? They would be, even they have the ability to change their lives. It's just different than we have. But the beautiful thing is most of the people talking within the sound of our voice have so much opportunity, right? And there are even people in these countries that are making $30 or $50 or $100 a month and living on that, they can change their lives. So when we say ridiculous things like I'm broke or I can't or I'm whatever, if you're under some warlord and if you take a job they're going to kill you or learn how to read, we can have a different discussion. But when you're listening to this podcast, I'm guessing on some sort of smart mobile device or laptop or whatever that costs hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, And if you lost it, it would be a slight inconvenience, not a devastation of your whole life's net worth. That's not probably the reality. So how do we catch ourselves? Because I think the big part is, again, when you and I talk, it all seems so clear. And I'm guessing people are listening to this broadcast going, oh, I get it. It makes sense. But then we kind of get into our real life and all of a sudden those sneaky, deceptive lies come back in again. So how can what's an action item, right? We don't ever want to kind of leave the site of a big aha without an action item. What can listeners do today or this moment that's a reasonable first step to start identifying when these bullcrap stories surface?
Well, let's just take this scenario we've been role playing, and let me give you a very specific example. So if Mike and I are talking, Mike's in the dawn, right? A moment where, oh my gosh, I can change this. I'm in charge. The very next step I would have Mike take is to look into the future he wants, the future where he's successful, the future where he has money, the future where his business is growing and going, and say, what is it? How, if you were that Mike right now, if you were that Mike, how might you be resourceful right now? What actions might you take? Could you take if you were already there? You're already successful. So from that place, rather than from this place of limitation where nothing has worked and you failed and all this stuff and it's imploded on you and you're just desperate, okay? So put yourself into that future self and then project backwards and go, all right, today, what can I do? What can I do? What's one thing? And get into that creative space. It's amazing how much we limit ourselves the minute we say, I don't have or I can't do something. We shut down. The part of our brain that's creative, that's tapped into that creative source, shuts down. So the very first thing, really practically, is step outside yourself, the current self, and look from your future successful self backwards and say, what can I do today? How can I be resourceful? How can I make this work? Rather than argue for all the reasons why it won't.
And you guys hear all the powerful questions. How can I do this? How can I make this work? Who would I have to be? Perfect example of this, and then we're going to call it because we're running long on time, is there's a show called, I think it's Undercover Billionaire or something like that. It's not Undercover Boss, but I saw one full episode. I think the guy from Bear Stearns was a billionaire, and they give him $100 and a pickup truck, and that's it. He can't use his name. He can't use his contacts. He can't use anything. And it's funny because you watch him, and I'll give 20%. And again, he doesn't start. I think that he's the owner of Bear Stearns, this big investment trading company. He doesn't start anything to do with an investment trade. It'd be unfair if he's like, oh, with $100 I start. And by the way, I think I think the goal is to be a millionaire in 60 days or something, make him $1 million. And you watch the show, and it's not a lot of note taking in terms of, oh, that's exactly what I would do. Mm-hmm. This guy's got beliefs of, and they show the first episode's him on a yacht with his family, and he takes his private jet to the small town, and off the private jet on the private runway to his private, $1,800 crap box of a truck. That's all he's got now that he sleeps in for the first couple nights. And the big difference is he asks himself powerful questions. He has beliefs, right? So if he can wake up and it's like, oh, well, he can use his Rolodex. No, he can't use anyone. People know. No, he doesn't get that name. No, he literally has $100, a pickup truck, no friends, no laptop, no cell phone, nothing. So it's just a great example of when people are like, oh, I don't have any money. Well, okay. Either does that guy, but in 60 days, he's going to be a millionaire and you're not. And if you watch it, there's no magic like, oh, he did this genius thing. They're like, oh, I could never do that. It's just exactly what Tracy says. His beliefs and his stories that he tells himself are wildly different than the people that aren't. Okay. You can email Tracy at Grow My Cleaning Company, support at Grow My Cleaning Company, to let us know how you're doing. We'd love to hear your stories. All right, guys, gals, growmycleaningcompany.com is all the resources we want. Talk to you soon.
Hey, Cleaning Nation, if you dug the content you just got, we don't do any ads and I don't sell anything on this podcast, but if you would would just subscribe, rate, and review, it would be huge, and I'd be so appreciative. Not only is it going to help me, but you'll help other owners of cleaning companies across the world work less, make more, and get profitable. So if you appreciate the value we give, again, subscribe, rate, and review. It would mean the world to me. I'd really appreciate it, and we sure appreciate your time and attention.